Welcome back to Fox 12 Now. I'm Greg Nibbler. Thanks for joining us. You know, Fox 12 is the home of women's sports now with the Portland Thorns. The Portland Fire, the excitement around both of these teams, one of them winning a lot of games, one of them getting ready to start their inaugural season. And we want to just bring you up to speed on what to know for this week. And then we're going to have a conversation with Senator Ron Wyden about the Portland Fire as well. But in case you haven't followed along this week, here's what you need to know.
The start of a new era, climb to the top of the table and the standings for the Portland Fire and Portland Thorns. Let's start with those first place Thorns. 3 straight wins launched Rose City to the top of the National Women's Soccer League. That third victory came on Sunday on the road against the Chicago Stars. 20-year-old Olivia Moultrie netted one in her 100th league appearance. The only other player to do that, Sinky herself, Thorns legend Christine Sinclair. Now the Thorns hope to extend their streak to 4 today against Racing Louisville. A nice match day for your Friday. Kickoff is at 3:30 on Rose City Sportsnet. From Goose Hollow to the Rose Quarter. After more than 20 years, the Portland Fire will be lighting up the Fire Pit at the Moda Center in their regular season home opener against the Chicago Sky. A quick timeline for the W's newest team, 2 preseason games, and now they're down to the final roster. 16 players listed, including seasoned vets like Bridget Carlton, Emily Engsler, alongside rookies Jordan Harrison and Nadia Potch. Head coach Alex Sarama says this inaugural team is an investment in the Fire's future.
This is like a long-term thing, and it's how we establishing this foundation, and I feel like the players are so bought into what we're trying to achieve here. And I think it's this process of every single day we're coming in here and we're getting better.
The season opener against the Sky tips off a 4-game stretch at home with 2-game series against the New York Liberty on May 12th and 14th. You can catch tomorrow's game on Rose City Sportsnet. Our coverage starts at 5:30, tip-off at 6 o'clock with Fire Courtside Live. Nick Krupke, Good Day, Oregon.
All right, there you go. Wrapping all of that up. So much excitement around women's sports. Don't forget, you can live stream the Portland Thorns actually on KPTV's platforms as well. They're for Fox 12 Oregon, so putting that in mind. But let's talk about the Portland Fire. We've got a very special guest joining us right now who I know has been a fan of bringing the WNBA back to Portland for quite some time. That is Senator Ron Wyden. Senator, always good to have you on here and to talk about this. And, you know, I want to get into some of the details of this, but let me just ask you off the bat, you know, how are you feeling right now with this debut starting tomorrow for the regular season for the Portland Fire?
I will tell you that I am totally fired up for this weekend. And this has really been a labor of love. I went to school on a basketball scholarship, dreaming of playing in the NBA. And when we got Kathy Engelbert, the WNBA commissioner, to Portland for the sports bra, we organized it so we could make the case that we were better and offered more than anybody around the country. And the Ducks were there, the Beavers, all the Thorns, all the teams, all the coaches. And when we walked out with Kathy Engelbert, we said, "Have you ever seen anything like it?" And she just smiled, and I said, "We're getting this team."
And it, well, clearly came to fruition. You know, we're going to be seeing this start on Sunday, or on Saturday, excuse me, with the team. I got a question though for you, because you're talking about that relationship, you know, and talking about all the work behind the scenes. You know, what was it like? Like, when did this actually start, this push to bring a WNBA team back to Portland?
It really began in 2022 because we thought we had an owner from Vancouver. That didn't work out. So I said, we're going to have to take some steps quickly now because there are other people in the running. And I said, if we make this really good case, I think Adam Silver will also support it. I've known him since my days as a young congressman, and we just kept building and building, and we said, we're rebounding in Roseburg, we're shooting in Sheridan, we've got young people playing all over the state. They're inspired, and I just felt that day, and that cold winter day in February 23, I said, we're on our way.
And how important is it from your standpoint, and this is, you know, me an outsider asking this, but that relationship between, you know, politicians, government officials, and the heads of organizations, you know, like Adam Silver, like the WNBA, and like Kathy and all of that, to have that close relationship, to make deals like this happen?
Well, the main thing you can do is get a chance to make your case. I think when Kathy Engelbert that day in February saw this amazing groundswell, I mean, we had young people, we had cheerleaders, we had parents. It was a mobilization of the whole state. I think those kinds of things really pay off. I mean, political change hardly ever starts in a government building in the East and trickles down. It's grassroots up. And that day in February at the Sports Bra, we really made the case.
And when you look at, Portland being positioned right now, just as a whole, as we always say here, the epicenter of women's sports. I mean, you got the Portland Thorns, you got the Portland Fire, but you have a lot of other teams as well, all here and more like that. How do you see this positioning the city going forward in the state of Oregon when it comes to that in the world of sports?
Well, first of all, I think this is a huge economic multiplier for Portland. For example, instead of having, concerts just fly over Moda, we're going to actually have great music there, and we're going to have programs. And I think that this is going to be a shot in the arm. And what I'm planning to do tomorrow is I'm just going to walk down Northeast Broadway and visit with store owners and shopkeepers and just say, this is the beginning.
And do you think this is something where, obviously this is very, very early talk. We haven't even had our first regular season game yet, and it's the inaugural season. But is this the kind of thing where you could see like a WNBA All-Star game? Is that something that Portland?
Well, we
could support?
already won a regional playoffs here coming up, and I think that this is the beginning. I think women's sports are really going to take off. This is one of the most exciting things going on in our community. We talk about the airport, for example, being a big thrill. It's the best airport in the United States. I think we're going to be a great WNBA team as well.
And we got the women's Final Four coming up here in just a few years. They're going to be here.
Spoke about it's actually coming up. It's scheduled. It's a message that people are really excited about coming to Portland. I have people asking me about it now.
What are the next steps? To see, I mean, this is a huge one right here. What's next? What do you see on the horizon?
Well, of course, the big thing is winning. We really had a good draft. The free agencies, Bridget, of course, playing incredibly well. I think we're off to a good start, but we're going to get some W's in the next few days.
What are your plans for the game tomorrow? Are you going to be there?
Absolutely. You couldn't keep me away if my life depended on it. This is going to be really exciting, and I just got my Fire regalia ready to wear.
Nice. Okay, you got the gear. Did you get the one of the new ones, the Rebel ones?
I got the hat. I got a sweatshirt. And my wife, everybody's figuring out what to wear.
Nice. Those Rose City ones are pretty sweet. I got to say.
Totally.
All right. Well, anything else that you want to share with people just about the Fire and about what it means for the city of Portland and for the state of Oregon and the Northwest?
It's going to be a huge win for the region. It's a win on the economy. It's a win for young people. It's a win on community. And I see the day in the community where you walk down Broadway and you might go to a soccer game, you might go to a basketball game, you stop and shop. It's going to be a great, great period for us.
All right. Well, there it is right there on your screen. Portland Fire making their home debut May 9th, tomorrow night. And it all starts right there. All right. Well, Senator, thank you very much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
And for everybody watching, we're live here in the newsroom. So clearly a lot of excitement there around the Portland Fire. And it's just interesting hearing a little bit behind the scenes of how it all happens there. We're going to go to a quick break right now. We'll come back. We've got plenty more for you here. This is Fox 12 Now.